All right, let's dive into the work of Robert Greene and the art of seduction. And look, we're not talking about cheesy pickup lines or, some kind of weird manipulation. No, we're talking about a really deep psychological skill, a form of social power that's built on truly understanding human nature. And it all kicks off with this fascinating historical puzzle. So this quote, it's from a woman in 19th century England, and she's comparing two rival prime ministers, William Gladstone and Benjamin Disraeli. Think about that for a second. One guy made her feel impressed. The other guy made her feel brilliant herself. And right there, in that one sentence, lies the entire secret to real, genuine seductive charm. So what was the difference? I mean, how did one man leave people thinking, wow, he's amazing, while the other one left them thinking, wow, I'm amazing? Let's find out. Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll uncover Disraeli's big secret. Then we'll get into how to master social perception. After that, we'll explore the incredible, and I mean incredible, power of empathy. And finally, we'll unpack this really subtle art of what's called non-defense. So our first stop gets right to the heart of it. The core principle here is completely counterintuitive. It's not about you. It's never about you. It's about making the other person the absolute star of the show. So to really get what Disraeli was doing, you got to understand where he was coming from. He overcame this incredible prejudice to become prime minister, and his main tool was just pure charm. Now, his rival, Gladstone, was always trying to prove how smart he was, right? Always arguing, always being superior. But Disraeli, he focused all his energy outward. He made everyone, I'm talking commoners, all the way up to Queen Victoria herself, feel like they were the most fascinating person in the world. He didn't just listen. He made them feel seen, special, and absolutely brilliant. And that idea, that focus on the other person, leads us perfectly into our next section, mastering social perception. This is all about understanding that how people see you is so often shaped by just how available you are. Or art. It's so easy to make the common mistake of thinking more is more. More texts, more calls, more just being there. But Greene argues that all that really does is showing insecurity. It can be totally overwhelming. The much more powerful, more seductive approach is to master strategic absence. Pulling back for a day or two, it creates space. It makes the other person think, wonder, and even fantasize. It shows confidence, and it inspires respect instead of suffocation. Now, to get the next piece of the social perception puzzle, I want you to just imagine this for a second. You're walking down the street, and you're looking for a place to eat. You see two restaurants. Restaurant A is pretty much empty. Restaurant B, on the other hand, is packed. People are laughing, drinking, having a great time. Which one do you want to go to? Instinctively, you're pulled to restaurant B, right? That is the raw power of social proof. We are just fundamentally drawn to what other people desire. So the strategy here is simple. You want to be the packed restaurant. And this isn't about faking popularity. It's about actually cultivating a genuinely rich and interesting social life. When you're seen as being valued and wanted by other people, your own value in someone's eyes just skyrockets. Greene calls this creating triangles, where someone sees that other people are interested in you, and that makes you instantly way more intriguing. Okay, so that covers the outside stuff, the external perception. But the real magic, the deepest level of connection, that happens on the inside. And this brings us to part 3, the power of empathy, or as Greene calls it, entering another person's spirit. Now, this is so much more than just listening to what someone is saying. See, we as humans are incredibly susceptible to the moods of the people around us. Entering their spirit means being open enough to actually feel the emotion behind their words, to pick up on the tone, the mood, the unspoken stuff. It's about feeling, not just hearing. And when you can do that, oh man, everything changes. Seriously, once you're able to truly put yourself in the emotional state of another person, it's like a whole new universe of connection and understanding just cracks open. You're not just trading information anymore, you're sharing a feeling. And that leads us to our final and maybe the most powerful concept of all. This is the one that ties everything together, the charm of non-defense. And this isn't about what you do, it's all about who you are. Greene uses the classic Hollywood actor Errol Flynn as the perfect case study here. His incredible power over people didn't come from some specific technique or some clever line. It came from his fundamental state of being.
In fact, women who knew him said that just spending 10 minutes in a room with him was, and I love this, like drinking 4 martinis. It was intoxicating. So why? How is that even possible? Well, he had this really rare quality.
That quality was being completely non-defensive. He was so relaxed, so open, so non-judgmental that it was emotionally contagious. You know what I mean? When you're with someone who has no walls up, your own walls just naturally start to come down. Their relaxation literally becomes your relaxation. Their openness lets you be open.
So here's the bottom line. It all comes full circle. From Disraeli making a woman feel like she was the most brilliant person in England, to Errol Flynn making someone feel as relaxed as if they'd had 4 martinis. The true art here is not about what you say or what you do. It's about how your very presence makes other people feel. And that leaves us with one last question for you to think about. Your mood, your state of being. It's contagious. So what is the one mood? Whether it's joy, relaxation, fascination, brilliance, what's the one mood that you want to make contagious to everyone you meet?